On behalf of Strucksoft Center, I would like to welcome you all guys in this introductory or demo session for the upcoming live training program under the title of Complete Reinforced Concrete Structure Design by using ETABS, RCDC and Advanced Excel. With these all three tools, we are trying to complete the design of the any RCC structure. And before discussing of the content of this training program, here I am expecting that you all attenders are belonging to different categories of engineers, especially in the field of civil engineering. So here I am expecting that some of you, those who are attending this demo session, are belonging to the first category. That means they are pursuing their bachelor's and master's, and they have the interest to become a structural engineer. They have the interest in the subject of structural design, and in future they want to make their career in the field of structural design, and with the intention to learn the software, with the intention to learn the real practice for the designing of structure, they are coming here to attend this demo session. This is I am expecting. There may be another category amongst you, that those who are pursuing the site, those who are doing the job on site, they are working as a site engineer since from last few years, and now they want to change their work profile from the site engineer to the design engineer. They want to make their further career in the structure design field. And there may be a third category, those who are new in the field of structure design. They have learned the software, the concept from the social media, and that's why they don't have that much confidence to deal the complete project on their own. That is their problem. They are having the lack of confidence to handle the software. They are not knowing the software by its algorithm. So that is the problem. And there may be the fourth category, that is what the category of experienced structural engineer. They are actually knowing everything since from last few years they are practicing as a structural engineer. They are good to handle the real projects, they are good to deliver the complete design, but the problem with them is that they are doing the design either by manual approach or by using the old software. There are so many different softwares are there, so that softwares are not capable to do the 3D modeling, 3D analysis, 3D design. They are 2D softwares. So now these old persons are actually want to upgrade themselves with the new trending softwares for the designing of the complete structure. So I just want to know from my audience, from which category do you belong? So just write in the chat box from which category you all are belonging to. Just write in the chat box so I can understand from which category our audience is belonging. Just write in the chat box, please. We want your response. Please write in the chat box. Yes, please. Okay, first, fourth, Avinash, fourth, second. Just write in the chat box fast. Fourth. So I can understand from which category our audience is actually belonging. Just write in the chat box. Your response is very much important. Please write in the chat box. Second, third, okay. Just write in the chat box. Please write in the chat box. You all have to give your response. As in the beginning I told you all guys, you have to respond to my question quickly by giving the answer in the chat box, so I can understand. Okay, first category, third category, second category. Okay, different categories you all are belonging. It's okay, fine, I got it. And one more thing, you have to follow. Just write your name and contact number in the chat box. Please write your name and contact number in the chat box. Please hurry up, write your name and contact number in the chat box. Okay, so now I got it that all the attenders are belonging to different categories. Some of you are from the category first, some of you are from the category 2, some of you are from the category 3, some of you are from the category 4. That's all done. Now, if suppose you want to become a professional structural engineer, so we need to understand that the dependency of career of any structural engineer on what requirements, on what pillars the career of structural engineers are. So basically there are four important pillars, there are four important things that is actually controlling the career of any structural engineer, and amongst them the very first, as per the current scenario, is the knowledge and command over the design software. If you are going to look for the job and if you are going to ask for the job to any of the consultant, to any of the MNC, they first asking the question how many softwares you are knowing. So your responsibility is to look at the market, you have to look at the industry, and you need to know what are the different softwares are available, and you have to learn that all softwares, different softwares are available. And it is important to understand that you don't need to learn all these softwares. People are doing the mistake, they are trying to learn all of this software. No dear, it is not required to learn all of this software. You have to learn the important software for your specific work. If suppose you want to work for the design of the building structure, RCC structure, at that time you have to learn the CSI ETABS software. If suppose you want to design the substructure of any specific type, then you have to learn the CSI SAFE software. But if you want to learn for the steel structure design, then you have to look at for the other software. If you have to design and if you have to do the detailing, scheduling in a convenient way with a short period of time, at that time you have to learn the STAAD RCDC software. So you need to find out for what specific work, for what specific job you have to choose the software, and accordingly you have to do the learning and you have to take the command over the software. So your first responsibility, if suppose you want to become a professional structural engineer, you have to learn the software in detail. As a professional, you have to learn everything about the software, its introduction, its commands, its validation, its algorithm, everything you have to understand in detail. Then you will become a master of that particular software. And anyone, means the consultant or the MNCs, are giving you break to work with them. Unless you are not understanding the software effectively, then you are not able to survive in the market. It is the one important part of your career if you want to become a structural engineer. Now after this, the second important thing is that the concept, basic concept. Unless your basic concept is not sound, you are not good in your basic concept, again you are not able to use the software, you are not able to do the design, you cannot do anything. If your base is not strong, without a base the entire structure will be what will not possible to work. So here actually the same thing, the basic concept, what are the different material properties, when to use that material properties, what are the different types of the beams, what are the different types of the columns, what are the different types of the framing systems, what are the different types of the loads, gravitational load, lateral load, wind load, static load, dynamic load, what are that loads, and if I am going to apply that load over my structure, so my structure is how is going to respond, what will be the response of your structure, how your structure is going to be deformed, what is the static analysis, what is the dynamic analysis, what is the property modifier, what is the meshing. These all things you have to learn conceptually. People, what they are doing, they are just taking the application, just they are learning the application, and they are blind about the base of that concepts, they are not knowing the concepts. And again I am repeating, if you are not good in concept, you cannot use the software effectively, because software is just a tool, anyone can use this software, but the use of the software effectively is the important thing, and that is coming out with your basic knowledge, with your basic concepts. This is the second important pillar or important thing that will control the career of any structural engineer. And my dear friend, the third important thing is your design code, the most and most important thing about the design code. if you want to design your structure as economical as well as stable as well as serviceable, you have to follow the design code. If you are not good to know about the design code, if you are not having the knowledge of its clauses, if you are not having the knowledge of all the limitations for the designing of beam, for the designing of the column, for choosing of the materials, for assigning of the loads, for the static analysis, for the dynamic analysis, if you are not sound to know the codal recommendation, codal values, okay, codal definition, then you will not able to design your structure as economical as well as stable as well as serviceable. And if you are going to design your structure without of having the knowledge of the code, you are going to harm to your structure as well as the people those who are going to live in that structure. For better understanding of the application of the code and importance of the code in the field of structural design, take an example. Suppose a person is moving over a is driving over a heavy uh, uh, is driving over a road, and is not going to follow the rules and regulations of the traffic. He is not going to wear the side belt, he is not going to follow the signal, he is not going to follow the limits of the speed. So tell me what will happen. The other people also moving over the same road, so what will happen? Can you tell me? Just write in the chat box what will happen if suppose any person is not going to follow the traffic rules and regulation. What will happen? Just write in the chat box fast. Accident will be happen. Okay, just write in the chat box fast. Mesh up. Okay, accident will be there. Very good, very good. Just write in the chat box. People are responding. If any person is moving over a road and is not going to follow the rules and regulations given by the traffic, and what will happen? Is not going to follow the speed limit, is not going to follow any of the recommendation were made by the traffic. Okay, so yes, what will happen? The accident will happen, and due to that accident only that person, that vehicle, that car is not actually going to be affected, but also the innocent person, those who are moving over that same road, is going to be affected. The same situation, same example actually we can consider here also. If the structural engineer is not going to follow the codes, Indian codes, if suppose you are going to practice in India, so obviously we have to follow the Indian code. So if the structural engineer is not going to follow the Indian code, Indian standard code, what will happen? It is going to make the structure in danger, as well as over the period of time that structure, if suppose suddenly going to be collapsed under the accidental load, suppose earthquake, heavy earthquake has been is going to be happen, and your structure were not designed by the structural engineer by following the IS 1893 2016, IS 13920 2016. So what will happen? Sudden collapse will happen, or and due to which all the people those who are going to live in that structure, they are going to lose their life. So that is what actually the importance of your IS code. So we need to learn the IS code properly and how to implement this IS code in your software. That is also we have to learn. Learning of this IS code is not only important, learning of IS code application in your software. If suppose you are going to work with the ETABS software, so how to make your ETABS software to follow the code, that is very much important. This is what the third important thing. Now I am going to say that you are good in design software. Suppose you are good in your basic concept, suppose you are good in your design code knowledge, then anyone is going to give the break to work in the consultancy, to work in the MNC, or can you work on your own for the designing of complete structure? People are now having the knowledge of the software, they have learned from the other training center, from the social media platforms, they have learned, they have the basic concept that they have learned from their academics. Now they are also having the knowledge of the design code, but still they are not getting the job, they are not getting the break to work as a structural engineer. What is the problem? When you are going to ask for the job, people are asking how many year of experience you are having. Unless you are not having the experience, they are not going to give the break. And my dear friend, try to understand, experience doesn't mean to count the number of years, how many number of years you have worked. Experience means how many real example projects you have completed on your own. And dealing with the real example project means the real challenges will come, and how you are tackling that real challenges, that real problems, that is the important thing. When you are going to deal with the real example project, many questions will be there. How to read the architectural drawing, how to decide the preliminary sizes, how to prepare the structural framing plan effectively, because the structural framing plan is actually the part, actually the is responsible for the stability of your entire structure. How to do the optimization, how to understand the algorithm of software, how to do the design, scheduling, detailing effectively, how to do the optimization. If suppose any element is going to fail, how to tackle that, how to decide the particular size of particular type of the foundation for your proposed structure. These all are the challenges, these all are the problems. If suppose any element is going to fail, how to make that failed element to pass the design criteria, how to decide the percentage of reinforcement as per the codal recommendation, as per the expert recommendation, as per the site convenient. By thinking all of these things, we have to design the real project. And if you are going to complete few of the projects in this way, that is actually going to be counted as your experience. And with that experience, with that knowledge, if suppose you are going to approach to any vacancy or any consultant or any MNC, they will definitely going to give you break. But the problem is that we are not having the knowledge of that level that the interviewer or the MNCs are expecting. That is what actually the problem. That's why we are lagging to make the position. So these four requirements are very much important. So I would like to ask a question with you all guys. Just write in the chat box, do you have the command over all these four important requirements, four demands to become a professional structure as the design software? And design software is just not the command, actual understanding of the design software with its algorithm, basic concept. Are you sound with your basic concept? Are you good to having the study of your design codes and taking into application for the design? That is the important thing. And have you completed the real example project on your own completely? If I am giving any project, can you deal the complete project from start to end? Just write in the chat box please. Do you have the command over all of these four requirements? Just write in the chat box please. No, people are responding as no. Do you have the command basic concepts and codes? Okay, just write in the chat box please. People are saying no. Most of you are responding as no. Just write in the chat box please. Your response is very much important, so I can understand the level, so accordingly I will discuss the further thing. So that's why I'm asking your a response. Please write your response here. Do you have the command over all these four important requirements? Write in the chat box please. No, very good, very good. Thank you very much you all guys for your active participation. And one more thing, just please do it here. Write your name and contact number in the chat box please. Those who have not given up to now, just please write your name and contact number in the chat box please, fast. Okay, most of you are saying that they are not good in all these four requirements. Then I can ask how you will become a professional structural engineer. How anyone can give you a break to work as a structural engineer? This is actually the problem. That's why we are not getting the break. So if actually this is your problem, as you got the requirement and you got the reason why you are not getting the break, and if suppose you want to become a professional structural engineer, so you need to be good in all these four areas. So if you are not good in this, you don't need to worry about. We are coming up with this live training program. With that we are going to solve this problem, and this training program is actually planned with its content, with its conduction plan, and with its everything to solve to provide all these four things. With this training program we are going to discuss these softwares for the designing of the RCC structure very detailed, in a very detailed way, professionally. Okay, and everything we are going to cover for the understanding of the ETABS software and RCTC software from its basic to its advanced level. Secondly, we are going to cover all the things from the basics: element introduction, response introduction, material introduction, everything from its basics. So whatever the lackness will be there in your academic learning, and if you suppose you have done your bachelor and masters so long ago, so what that all things is going to be revised here in detail. And after that, the project or the exercises that we are going to do in this training program, all that we are going to do in the light of the codal recommendation. And in this training program we are going to take a few of the real example projects, metropolitan cities projects we are going to take for the study. Like other training center, we are not going to take the dummy project or very simple project. No, we are going to take the real example project. So with that, lot of challenges and problems are coming during the design, and that all problems we are going to solve. So that is going to add the experience in your design portfolio and in your knowledge. And this training program is actually going to start from 22nd of May 2025. And the further study and further knowledge about this conduction plan and everything we will discuss at the end of this demo session. But prior to that, we have to know the content of this training program, this live training program. So basically, this complete training program is made for all these four category persons. This training program is going to be solve the problem of the bachelors and masters. This training program is going to solve the problems of the site engineer, if suppose he want to become professional structural engineer. This training program is going to give the confidence to the beginners in the field of structural design. And this training program is also give the new software knowledge ideas to the old person, those who are practicing in the field of structural design since from so long ago. Right now, let's have a look the content of this training program. Okay, so this complete training program we have properly scheduled in 3 levels. In this training program we are going to cover 3 levels: beginner level, intermediate level, and advanced level. My dear friend, at this point, please don't be misconceived, okay, that these 3 different trainings. No, these 3 levels are actually going to be covered in this training program only. We actually have properly scheduled the chapters. You can call it 2 chapters also: beginner chapter, intermediate chapter, and advanced chapter. So don't be consider it as different trainings, different parts. You have to join beginner level, then you have to join the intermediate level, then you have to join the advanced level. That is not the case. These all 3 levels are actually going to be covered in this training program only under the title of ETABS, RCDC, and Excel. Is that all clear? These all 3 3 levels are going to be covered in this training only. Just write in the chat box. Have you got this? Otherwise people are actually considering these are 3 trainings. No, these are in one training, different levels. Got it? Please don't ask this question later on. Okay, now let's have a look what the things we are going to cover in the beginner level. Okay, so why these 3 levels we have created? Let's try to understand. In the beginner level, we will make you confident with the software, with the basic concept. Okay, after the beginner level you will get the confidence with the software, and all the knowledge of this beginner level we are going to implement in the intermediate level to design the real example project. And in advanced level we are going to take the tall structure for the purpose of designing and learning. Right, so let's have a look in detail what we are going to cover in the beginner level. So basically, in the beginner level we will give the detailed introduction about the software and its user interface, its welcome screen, its commands. Okay, so when you are going to open the software, so what are the welcome screen, what are the user interface, how to handle that user interface, that we will discuss in detail. Because whenever we are going to open any new software over which we are going to work first time, so we are having some kind of fear how we will handle this software. Okay, we are not able to perform the things, so we are trying to resolve that problem. Okay, we would like to give the confidence, so that I will explain in detail. Thereafter, we will give the brief introduction about the software, what it's a history, what it's a weakness, what it's a strength, how you can take this ETAP software in your application, right? Then validation of the software will be very much important. As I told you earlier, software is just a tool. If you are giving the garbage in, you will get the garbage out. So garbage in and garbage out will be there. So if you are giving the right input, software should give the right output. If you are giving the wrong input, software should give the wrong output. So how you can validate that? So we are going to validate the software. We are trying to understand the software by taking the small modules, small projects. Okay, we will assign the load, we will perform the analysis, we will check the results, and we are trying to validate the results with our manual calculation. For the beam case, for the column case, for the truss case, we are trying to see the results by the manual results, and if the results are matching with our manual result, then we can say that software is correct, we can use for our real projects. So blindly we will not take for the real project, we will make you confident with the software. And these things, validating of the software will giving the confidence, right? Now secondly, we will discuss the commands of the software, how to handle the software smartly. There are two ways you can use the software: in a basic way, you can use the software in a smart way. In a short period of time, how you can complete the modeling. Okay, big modeling, how you can complete. Okay, what are the different file formats of the ETAP software and their importance? If suppose you are going to work with the different versions, what will happen if you are going to change, if you are going to work between the different versions, 19 version, 20 version, or 20 version, 15 version, 21 version? So what will happen? How to tackle the problems due to change of the version? Okay, selection option, deselection option, editing option, load application options, modeling option, analysis option, design option, set display option, user interface settings. Okay, so these all are the commands. Unless you are not able to handle the software, unless you are not able to manage the software, then how you can go for the real practice? So that's we are trying to solve here. So we will make you smart to use the software. In the beginner part, in the beginner level, our focus only with the software understanding, getting the command over the software handling, software application, software validation. And moving ahead, we are taking the one sample project. It will be the dummy project, it will not be a real project. And this sample project, dummy project, we are taking with an objective to further study about the software, about the complete modeling, what is the different options, basic option and smart option for the modeling of the beam, column, slab, shear wall. Okay, load application, load assignments, then what problems are arising by the software during the performing a modeling check. If any mistake has been done, so how to find out that mistake, how to correct that mistake. Then performing of analysis, that we are going to learn in detail. If any problem is happening after the analysis, how to catch that, how to correct that, that we will learn. Then few like this sample project, dummy project, it is not the real project. This we are going to take will and with an objective to give the experience to work with the software, confidence with the software, confidently working with the software. So these things we are actually going to cover in the beginner level. So after the completion of the beginner level, our participant will be confident to use the software. He can work as a professional with the software application. And after the beginner level, we are moving towards the intermediate level. We are moving towards what? Intermediate level. And as I told you, whatever the things we have learned in the beginner level, that we are going to take into application in the intermediate level. And in intermediate level, we are going to take the real example project. As I told you, metropolitan cities projects we are going to take in this training program. Dummy project, sample project we are not going to take for the real understanding of the real practice done by the structural engineer. So this kind of real project we are going to take, as you can see on the screen. Okay, so actually what, how to see how to complete this real example project. We are going to follow the steps, design steps we are followed by the structural engineer for the completion of any project. So we will learn how to read the architectural drawing. Very first thing, how to read this complicated architectural drawing. Unless you are not able to read the architectural drawing effectively, you will not able to proceed for the next step. How to read the architectural plan, how to read the architectural elevation, how to read the sectional elevation. If there is a parking, then how to read that. Okay, if what type of the building is there based on its utility, based on its material property, based on its in plan geometry. Okay, so area distribution, how is going to be done by this architect, that all you need to understand and learn. Okay, so this kind of complicated architectural drawing will coming to you for the purpose of designing. So you should have the knowledge how to read all these architectural drawings. Thereafter we have to prepare the structural framing plan, or sometime we are going to call it as beam layout. So this kind of structural framing plan we have to prepare, and this is actually going to be called as skeleton of your structure. As if you are going to compare it with our human body, so bones are actually the skeleton, and over that the masses are going to rest. So entire stability of our human beings are actually depends on the skeleton, bones. Likewise, the entire stability of your structure is depends on the structural framing. And how smartly, how effectively you have planned your structural framing plan means the positioning of the column, orientation of the column, and sizes of different structural elements depends on that. Overall stability and serviceability of your entire structure will be depend. So what does mean the structural framing plan, that we will discuss in detail. Right, how to decide the position and orientation of the column. As I told you, orientation, position is very important point for the stability of your structure. Amongst all the different structural element, the column is most important structural element which is maintaining the stability of your structure. If your column is weak, we can say that your entire structure is weak. If your column is strong, we can say the stability of entire structure will be strong. So while deciding the positioning, preliminary size, and orientation of the column, you should be very much conscious. If you are doing the mistake at this point, that will leads to the very dangerous outcome. So that's why on what basis, so we have made our own written practical book of guide for the RCC structure design with ETABS, RCDC and Excel. So this book of practical guide will give you the proper guidelines and points as that recommended by your expert for deciding the preliminary size, for deciding the positioning, and for deciding the location of different structural elements. Here as you can see, I can ask, here I have given the column as horizontally oriented. Why I have not taken it as vertical? That is the question. Here it is horizontal, why I have not taken vertical? Here it is vertical, why I have not taken is horizontal? So this question why, we have to find the answer of this, and that is also all we are discussing in the training program in detail in reference to by following the this book of practical guide. There we have discussed everything in detail, right? And after that, the next we have to decide what positioning and orientation, right? So these all things we have to do, and while deciding the preliminary section size, we have to do this simple calculation, sample calculation we are going to do, and for that we are going to take the help of the spreadsheet. So at different stages in this training program, and even when you are going to do the design of the real project, at different stages you need to take the help of the spreadsheet. Without of taking the help of spreadsheet, you cannot come to the quick solution, quick approximation. Sheet is not going to do the design, but actually it is giving the approximation, quick closer to your right solution. So this Excel sheet will give you what size of the column will be suitable for your structure. If suppose you are going to deal for G plus 5, G plus 10, G plus 15, 20. So by using this spreadsheet, you can quickly come to know that what size of the column you should adopt at the preliminary stage. Likewise the beam, likewise for the slab, likewise for the shear wall, likewise for the foundation. For all different elements you have to decide the preliminary sizes. And after having the structural framing plan, the next step is to move towards the software. Now we have to create your model for the purpose of analysis and design. And when you are moving toward the ETABS software, the very first thing is to create the grid lines. Now what does mean by the grid line? What is the importance of the grid lines? What are the different methods to create the grid lines in the ETABS software? That is very much important. So basically there are three methods. One is offset point method, second is ETABS template method, third one is your export and import method to create the grids in your ETABS software. And that all these three methods we are discussing in a very detailed way in our training program, so you will become master of all these three types of the creating the grids in your ETABS software. And once you created your grids, thereafter we have to move towards the doing the modeling. Then how smartly to do the modeling of the beam, how smartly to do the modeling of the column, how smartly to do the modeling of the shear wall, how to do the corrections. That is what very much important actually when we are doing the modeling, and when we are going to check for the modeling. So obviously those who are going to practice with the ETABS software first time, or new in the field of structural design, or new to deal with the software, so they are doing the mistake. They are actually going to do the mistake for the modeling. So how to catch that mistakes, and if you are finding any error in your model after the modeling, how to correct that modeling errors, that we will let you know in detail in our training program. In this way we are going to do the complete modeling. Okay, one story option, similar story option, all story option, how to take all these options into application to do the smart modeling. Okay, how to do the staircase modeling. When you are going to talk about the staircase, the consultants are adopting three practices. Either they are going to do the actual modeling of the staircase, sometimes they are not going to model the actual staircase, they are just taking the normal slab, and third case is they are not going to do the actual modeling of the staircase, they are not going to do the normal floor slab for the positioning of the staircase, they are actually going to do the separate calculation, and that calculated value they are going to assign over your structure. So all these three methods for the consideration of the staircase we are going to cover in our training program in detail for the real example project as per the architectural drawing. Now after that, the moment release concept, torsion release concept, this is also very much important to get applied in your ETABS software. So first we will learn the concept as per our book of practical guide, that will defining everything. Okay, and then we will take into application in our ETABS software movement release concept, partial movement release concept, fully movement release concept, torsion releases means primary torsion, secondary torsion, tertiary torsion, and how to handle that all torsions, that is going to be discussed in detail. Then finally how to implement in your ETABS software, and how to track the results after these modifications. And thereafter we are moving toward the load application. So what are the different codes? IS 875 part 1, part 2, part 3, IS 189 2016. Okay, how to use these all codes for the application of the loading. Okay, that we are going to learn in detail. Wall load calculation, area load calculation. Okay, material densities, from where you will get it. Okay, earthquake load calculation, wind load calculation, right? All this calculation we are going to do, and thereafter we are going to apply over our structure. How to do the calculation of the lift machine room, okay, that will let you know in detail. Thereafter how to do the calculation of the overhead water tank load, and how to design the overhead water tank, that will discuss in detail. Thereafter, after application of all that loads, we have to perform the analysis, and people are doing the mistake at this stage. After the analysis they are not going to check the analysis results. We have to not only validate the design result, but also we have to validate the analysis results also. Whatever the loads that you have assigned to your structure, whether all that loads has been transferred to the specific members or not, to all the members of the structure or not. Okay, suppose one column is going to take maximum load, other column is not taking any load. So how to make the distribution effectively, and whether that distribution has been done or not, is there any mistake has been done by the software, how to correct that mistake, how to validate the software, that we will discuss in detail in our program. Okay, and what is the bending moment shear force diagram. Okay, reversal bending moment and reversal shear force diagram is a different thing. When you are going to deal with the structure which is subjected to only the gravitational load, so bending moment diagram and shear force diagram will be different, and that is most of you are knowing, but you are not knowing when the structure is going to be subjected to lateral load plus the gravitational load and static load and dynamic load, how the response of the structure will be. And if the result is updated by the software, so how you can come to know whether it is right or wrong, whether the bending moment shear force is coming is right or no wrong, for the fixed beam, for the simply supported beam, for the columns axial load distribution is right or wrong, whether all the loads has been properly distributed or not, everything we will discuss in detail. And if the software has done any mistake, or if any mistake has been done by us, so how we can correct it, that also we will discuss, right? So it is what the check after the analysis, right? Now once the analysis checks has been done, we have to move towards the design and have to perform the design. But prior to go for the design, we have to do the setting in the CSI ETABS software, and that setting is needed to done with the proper knowledge skills. uh, unless you are not sound with your basic knowledge, you are not sound with the codal recommendation, you cannot do the setting in your ETABS software for the purpose of design. Just for example, suppose take example of your column. So your column design will mainly depends on these three framing type: ductile, ordinary, non-sway. So when to choose the ductile, when to choose the ordinary, when to choose the non-sway. If I am choosing the ductile, so what will happen on your on the design result of the column, on the ordinary on the column, if I am going to choose the ordinary, if I am going to choose the non-sway, so what will be the impact on my final design. And this framing time is also going to be affected your beam also, not only column. Up to some extent it is going to affect to your beam also, but mainly we are considering for the column. That's why I'm telling when to consider this utilization factor as 1, when to consider pattern live load factor as 0. By default, if you are going to see, this value is going to be shown by 0.75. ETABS software is going to be considered as 0.75. We actually have to consider it as 0 under one condition. So what is that condition, where that condition is written, what is the minimum eccentricity concept, when it should be yes, when it should be no, additional moment concept, when it should be yes or no, P delta analysis, when it should be yes or no. Likewise, all the options we have to understand. Effective length factor, sway, non-sway, braced, unbraced, what to choose, live load reduction factor, what it should be considered here. Everything is what to understand in detail and have to correct it. And based on your selection in the design preferences and design parameters, your design is going to be executed. And this chart where ETABS software is going to follow for the purpose of your frame design, whether the ductile design is needed to do, whether the ordinary design is needed to do, whether the non-sway design is needed to do, that all going to be decided by your ETABS software with this chart under this condition. So I will discuss this point in detail because due to time constraint I am not able to discuss this chart here, so I will discuss in the training in detail. Okay, so based on that, the design is going to be done based on your settings, based on your parameters, and after the design the result is going to be updated here. So when you are going to see the result here, these are the demand of the reinforcement. Sometimes when you are going to do the design for the column, so people are asking that, sir, we are going to do the design at the lower floor, we are getting the low reinforcement, at the higher floor we are getting the higher reinforcement, on the top floor we are getting the higher reinforcement. Most of you are having this question, sir, our beam is going to fail, our column is going to fail, sir, we are going to design G+1 floor building, G+2 floor building, and the column size required to provide us 230 by 800. Actually 230 by 800 column size may be required, as my experience will be what, G+10 12 floor building, and that column size you are going to provide for the G+1 and 2 means you are not having the knowledge. You are not going to, you are not having the knowledge of the algorithm of the software. Okay, so what the problem, on the top floor we are getting the more reinforcement. Why this is happening? What is the concept between the what is the concept behind this? How to tackle this problem? So that is what all the questions, and the finding of the solution is actually giving the experience, and the experienced person can handle these all problems. So suppose for example, if you are going to talk about the column, see, if any column is going to fail in the design, if you are going to deal with the ETAP software, what will be the solution to make that column pass the design check? Can you write in the chat box? If suppose any column is going to fail, if I'm giving any project, if suppose we are going to handle any project together, and after doing all the things, when we are coming to the design stage, suppose any column is going to fail, so what will be the solution? Just write in the chat box, please. What will be the solution for that? Please. Increase the size, increase the size, increase the column size. Either increase the percentage of reinforcement or the size. Just please write in the chat box. I want your response. Increase the column size fast. Just write in the chat box, please. Increase the reinforcement. Okay, most of you are increase the column size, increase the column size, grade of concrete. Very good, very good. So you all are giving the response to take the action against your failure, right? To take the action against your failure, and most of you are saying that increase the size, but you all are doing the mistake here. What is that mistake? Let's try to understand. Without of diagnosing the problem, you are giving the solution. Have you got the reason why the column is getting failed? You all are with me? Just say yes or no. Am I right or wrong? Without of diagnosing the problem, how you are giving the solution? Just to increase the size, just to increase the reinforcement. What I said, the column is what actually failed. So have you checked what is the cause of the failure? What is the reason of failure? Am I right or wrong? Without of diagnosing the problem, without of knowing what is the reason, you are directly giving the solution. That is the mistake we are going to do done by the beginners, or those who are not having the knowledge of the design. Okay, those who are not worked as a professional, right? So actually first you need to know the reason of the failure. You need to diagnose the problem, where is actually the problem and mistake, and that will come to know, that you will come to know by reading of the design report of the ETAP software. And this is nothing but understanding of the algorithm of the software, means what steps the ETAP software is going to follow the column, what step the ETAP software is going to follow the beam, and all the different elements that you need to know. One step is going to be followed by you if suppose you are going to do the manual calculation. Likewise, ETAP software is going to follow the some steps while doing the calculation. So now you need to understand what ETAP software is going to follow that steps, and that I am going to call as understanding of algorithm. And after reading the report, we will see that whether your column is failing in flexure, whether column is failing in axial stress, whether your column is failing in shear, whether your column orientation is correct or not, and with all, whether your column is becoming a long column, whether your column is going to be considered as short column, what is happening, whether the additional movement is going to be added with your design. So what is the problem? Is there any weakness in your framing plan? You need to find the problem, then accordingly we will give the solution. This is the way. Likewise, we have to do for the beam. Then we will see the reinforcement demand. As the reinforcement demand here it is coming for the beam, for the column, for the shear wall, we will check it with the minimum recommendation where made by your code. As per the codal recommendation, all the design has been done by the software or not. And these all validations and designing and load applications we are going to do with the help of the spreadsheet. So normally, if suppose you are going to do the design for the floor slab, so normally the floor slab we are not going to do with the software, we are going to do it separately. So we are having very customized spreadsheet for the designing of the floor slab, any type of the slab with its scheduling and detailing you can do by this spreadsheet. Very smart and customized Excel sheet for the designing of long and short column. Very smart and customized spreadsheet it is. Okay, and it is also can be used for the validating of your ETABS result. These all sheets you can use for validating of your ETABS result, because we are not blindly going to practice with the ETABS software as I told you. So we have to check your software at different stages. So these Excel sheets we are going to take into application for the validating of the design result, or to find out the preliminary sizes of the element, to do the calculations. Okay, now here it is what these all spreadsheet as a bunch we are going to provide in this training program. So this don't ask this question at the end, will you provide the spreadsheet or not? Definitely all the Excel sheet that is going to be used in this training program is going to be shared with you all guys. So this all Excel sheet, this bunch of Excel sheet will be shared with you. Now next will be what, optimization in design. So being a structural engineer, your job is not to do the design only, your job is also to do the optimization to achieve the economy. People are considering that the economy in the construction can be achieved on site by managing the things, but that is totally wrong. Actual economy achievement can be done at the design stage by optimization the reinforcement, by optimization of the section size. But at the same time you have to think about the stability and serviceability, okay, of the structure. Stability and serviceability, both the things you have to take into account while achieving the economy. So how to decide the section sizes and its reduction, how to decide the percentage of reinforcement and its reduction, that we'll discuss in detail at the stage of the optimization. After the completion of design, when everything is right, when everything is done correctly, thereafter we are going for the optimization in design. And after that we have to prepare the schedule and detail, and for that purpose we are going to do the scheduling and detailing as per the design results of your ETABS. This kind of schedule and detail report we have to prepare manually, means in the CAD software. Complete schedule for the beam I will let you know in detail for the complete project. Each individual beams we are going to discuss. Others what they are doing, they are just talking about the design. We are going to prepare the schedule and detail together. Thereafter for the staircase also, for the column also, for the foundation also, everything we will discuss in detail. But if we are going to do this scheduling and detailing manually, it takes hell lot of time. It takes a hell lot of time. That's why we are going to take another thing into application, that is what, your STAAD RCDC software. As I told you, when you are going to deal the detailing scheduling manually, suppose G plus 1 and 2 floor building you are going to deal with, so it required 1 day at least for completion of the project with its schedule and detail. If I am giving the G plus 5 floor building, it required 2 days if you are new in the field of structural design. If I am giving G plus 15-20 floor, it takes 4-5 days for completion of complete scheduling and detailing and preparing the report. But that time can be reduced with the help of your STAAD RCDC software. This STAAD RCDC software can quickly generate your design results, your schedule report, your detailed report. So that's why we have included this STAAD RCDC software in our training program to do the quick schedule and detail. So firstly we will let you know complete scheduling and detailing and preparing the report by manual approach. Thereafter same we are going to repeat with the STAAD RCDC software. So we are going to cover the basic as well as smart approach. Now this is what the STAAD RCDC interface for the purpose of designing of different elements. So if suppose you would like to design the beam, so how to import the results, how to export the results, how to perform the analysis in the tabs, then how to export it, what file format to be chosen, okay, if any error is happening, why the error is happening, output stations, how to decide the output station, everything we will discuss in detail. And thereafter we are going for the designing of the beam in the STAAD RCDC software. And after designing, we have to prepare the schedule. That schedule, how it is coming, how to read it, how to correct it, if any problem is there, how you can correct, that we'll discuss. Now important thing is that people are complaining that ETAB result and STAT RCDC results are not matching. If you are going to do the design in ETABS, if you are going to do that same design in STAT RCDC, the results are not matching. Actually the mistake with not the software, mistake is in your learning, in your knowledge. Actually what parameters have to control in STAT RCDC software, that you need to know to control the results of the STAT RCDC. So I will show you how to match the results of ETABS and RCDC. That level of understanding we are having and we are going to share with you. And thereafter how to do the detailing for the beam, column, slab, staircase, everything we will discuss in detail for the concern of STAT RCDC. And again I am repeating, by just clicking over the option, it is going to update the complete design results of all the different elements. See, if you are going to do the detailing in this way for in your CAD software, so you can imagine what time will be required, but RCDC software can quickly generate this drawing, this report. Okay, this is the foundation. We will discuss the foundation also in detail in our training program for the simple pad footing, isolated footing. Got it? So that is also we are going to cover in our training program. And as I told you, these all studies are actually going to be done by the book of practical guide. Okay, this will help you for everything. We have because we are actually going to discuss everything, okay, in front of you, but all that is also written in our book of practical guide. Even our studies we are going to do with your book of practical guide. We all together will proceed in this training program along with this book of practical guide for the real example project completion. And you will be surprised, this book of practical guide will also going to be shared in this training program, those who are going to enroll. So this book of, don't ask this question at the end whether the book of practical guide will be shared or not. This book of practical guide we will share with you. The bunch of all the Excel sheet will also going to be shared with you. Okay, now after the completion of the intermediate level, whatever the things that we were not covered in the beginner level, in the intermediate level, that all things we are going to cover in your advanced level. And in advanced level we are going to consider and discuss and we are going to take the tall structure. And if you are going to deal with the tall structure, what will be the role of the stiffness, what will be the role of ductility, what will be the role of your strength, that we are going to learn in detail. Because these three properties of your structure is actually controlling the overall response, behavior and lateral movement of your tall structure. Okay, how to do the calculation of the earthquake load, wind load, what are the different methods of doing the calculation of earthquake load and wind load for the tall structure. Okay, that we'll discuss in detail, firstly by the manual, okay, for the earthquake and wind. Thereafter all that calculation we are going to do by the help of the spreadsheet. For the tall structure, I am not going to talk about the small level structure, low rise structure. I am talking about the tall structure, high rise structure. So for high rise structure, how to do the calculation for the earthquake load, for the wind load, that we will discuss. And after doing that all calculation, we are going to assign over our structure. When to consider the static analysis, when to consider the dynamic analysis, how to do the calculation for the static analysis, how to do the calculation for the dynamic analysis, then how to apply in your software. Then accordingly the load combinations, what are the different static load combination, what are the different dynamic load combination. Okay, if you are going to deal with the tall structure, more number of floors, at that time live load reduction concept, in which code it is written, in which code, as per which code it is recommended, live load reduction factor. And for the tall structure, how to implement in your ETABS software, that we are going to discuss in detail for the tall structure, live load reduction factor. And the important thing is that Moodle analysis. What does mean by the Moodle analysis? It is very important for knowing the response of your structure, knowing the behavior of structure. If you are going to deal with the small structure, means G plus 5 6 7 floor building, at that time modal analysis is not that much important. But when you are going to deal for the tall structure, without of modal analysis you cannot understand the behavior of structure, whether your stiffness is okay or not, whether your ductility of the structure is okay or not, okay, whether your structure will be serviceable or not. All that can be judged from your modal analysis. So we will discuss in detail what does the modal analysis, mode shape, complex mode, modal testing, modal normal modes, how to control that we have to discuss. And that is all recommended by your ISO code. IS code has recommended that we have to perform the modal analysis to check the response, okay. And it is recommending that in the first mode the torsion should not be there, in the second mode torsion should not be there, in the third mode the torsion is acceptable. So what does the torsion, how to control the torsion in your structure if it is coming? Definitely when you are going to deal with the project, so torsion will come, no doubt. Then how to control that torsion, how to avoid that torsion, how to remove that torsion, that we will discuss in detail in our program, right? So this is what also the part of our training program. Okay, now after that we will going to do the study of P delta analysis. This is again important for the tall structure. If you are going to deal with the low rise structure, P delta analysis is not much important. But when you are going to deal with the tall structure, IS 16700 2017 is especially recommending to perform the P delta analysis for the tall structure. Without a P delta analysis you cannot proceed as per the tall structure codal recommendation IS 16700 2017. So what is the small P delta, is big P delta, primary movement, secondary movement, P delta analysis, how to control it, everything we'll discuss, and how to take into application in the design and especially in the ETABS software we will discuss it. And meshing concept, okay, what is the role of the meshing for the tall structure, okay, for the smooth transfer of the loads. If you are going to increase the number of meshing, if you are going to decrease the number of meshing, what will be the impact on your design results, that we'll discuss in detail in the light of the recommendation given by your book of practical guide. And the lateral displacement, okay, absolute displacement, maximum displacement as per the codal recommendation, how to perform, how to check, and what is the limits were defined by your IS code, that also we are going to discuss in detail. And property modifier concept, stiffness modifier concept, diaphragm concept, load combination. If suppose you are going to deal with the low rise structure only with the gravitational load, so the load combination will be gravitational only, dead load plus live load plus that's it, service load and factor load combination. But when you are going to deal with the tall structure, your structure is subjected to a lateral load also, gravitational load also, accidental load also. In that case, what will be the load combination? About to more than of 100 load combinations will be there. How to define that, how to consider in the load in the design, load combination envelope, what does it mean? Property modifier concept, diaphragm concept, rigid diaphragm, semi rigid diaphragm, what is the theory and concept behind of that, which one to be chosen for your specific project, that also we are going to discuss. A membrane element, shell element, shell thin, shell thick, what to be considered, that also we are briefly going to discuss, okay. And stability checks for the tall structure, as we have discussed, for the torsional movement, for the deflection limiter, okay, absolute displacement, relative displacement, torsion, everything we are going to cover. And in that way we are going to complete the tall structure design and especially the stability check, so that we are going to cover everything here from beginner basic, from starting of the software to becoming a master of the software, along with all the concept with the real projects experience. So this is all about our training program and its content. So when you are going to complete the beginner level, our participant will become a confident with the software. When you are completing the intermediate level of this training program, then you will become able to deal the real example project as a professional. When you are going to complete at the advanced level, you will become a confident, you will get the confidence to deal the tall structure, everything. Now this training program, and after the completion of this training program, we are trying to build the portfolio of our participants. So along with all of our services, one more thing we are going to do, we are going to provide the project completion report. And there will be no our advertisement, there will be what we are going to give the design report, those who are going to complete the project, those who are going to practice it, so we'll and those who are going to pass the examination. Based on that, we'll make this project completion report, and we are going to share with you so that you can put it anywhere, to show that I have completed this project. So you will get the more chance to get placed in any of your dream job for the structure as a structural designer. Now this complete report we will prepared on behalf of you, and we are sharing with you. Okay, so this live training program is going to provide the book of practical guide, the certification after the completion of the training program, project completion report, and the right content we are trying to share with you. Definitely if you are getting all of these things, so no one can stop you to get your destination, means your desired job, right? And you can start your own firm and consultancy also to design your project. And now the important thing, what actually the others are charging for this all content. So if suppose you are going to learn only the beginner level to by anyone, so they are charging about 8,000 to 20,000, and they are not talking about the real project, real thing. They are just discussing about the basics, and they are not going to talk about the validation of the software. But all of that things we are going to cover in our training program. But people are actually covering only this part, and they are charging 8,000 to 20,000. If someone is going to discuss about the real project, real practices, real concept, real recommendation, real codal consideration, and completing the project from start to end, they are charging about to 1 lakh rupees for their training. And some of the person, they are charging more than of 1 lakh, those who are going to discuss the tall structure. This is what the reality, those who are knowing, they can agree with this. Okay, but in our training program, we are going to cover all of these 3 levels in our training program. For the complete reinforced concrete structure design using ETABS, RCDC and Excel, in this training program we are going to cover all these 3 levels: beginner level, intermediate level and advanced level. These all 3 levels we are going to cover in just of 5,999 only. These 3 levels is going to be covered in this training program only, with the cost of, with the price of, with a charge of only 5,999, and that will include all the things, as we said here, the live training, its recording, plus book of practical guide, bunch of all the Excel sheets, certification, project completion report, everything is included in this. Okay, and this training program is actually going to start from 22nd of May 2025. From this date, the training or batch is actually going to start. This is the batch number 17. This we are actually going to start, and the session timing will be what, 7:30 to 9. Mistakenly it is written here as 9:30. It is what, 7:30 to 9. Session timing, 1.5 hour session timing will be there, and training fee, as we just have discussed, 5,999. And what services, there will be live classes, and if you are attending the class or if you are not attending the class, in both of the situation you will get the recording of the classes, and that recording you can access lifetime. The recording of the classes will be what, lifetime accessible. Okay, then you can interact with expert 24/7 with your proper community dashboard. We are trying to give the real experience with the real project, and after the completion of this training, you will get the certification and project completion report, and proper system conduction plan is there. Okay, along with that you will get all the action alert and notification. Okay, notification will be there, right? So this is what all the conduction plan and features of our training program, and this is going to be commenced from 22nd of May 2025. Got it? And the session timing will be what? 7:30 to 9, and most important, training duration will be 2 months. Live training duration will be what? 2 months. Recording will be available for lifetime. Again I am repeating, live session will be for 2 months, means training duration for the 2 months, and recording will be what? Lifetime accessible. Okay, don't consider that recording for the 2 months. No, recording for the lifetime, and live classes will be what? For the 2 months. In this 2 months, all the stated content is going to be delivered, is going to be covered. All this content is going to be covered in this 2 months, and the recording is going to be available for the lifetime. Okay, now to get enrolled in this training program, okay, we have shared the link in the chat box. Just check your chat box. We have shared the link. Those who are interested to enroll in this training program, check your chat box. We have shared the link to get enrolled, or otherwise you can visit our website Instruct Soft Center, and with that you will land to this particular page, and there is a button to get enrolled. Okay, with this stated price you can complete your enrollment now. Okay, so this is all about today's discussion for this upcoming live training program under the title of Complete Reinforced Concrete Structure Design using ETABS, RCDC and Advanced Excel. Hope that you all understood.